Wow, bad news for boxing fans. Team Teofimo Lopez to fight Devin Haney and get that done ASAP. They said they want $10 million. We're going to talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. Shout out to everybody, the Cash Apps, the donations, Cash App, $ Boxing Ego. We got to jump in the mix. Link in the description. Bad news for boxing fans. Anybody who wanted to see the fight with Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, it appears that Team Teofimo Lopez has placed their stake in the ground, put their flag in the ground, and they're looking to get $10 million in order to make that a reality. Yes, you heard it correctly. $10 million is what they want in order to get that fight off the ground. Now, Devin Haney, he obviously seen the videos and he responded, and I'll get to a couple of his opinions. Smash the like button. So Devin Haney says, Teofimo, fight me or STFU, and you know what that means. I made double fighting Gamboa than you made versus Vasil Lomachenko. You can't be the A++ side making that. So he's saying, you know, I destroyed your purse, and I'm fighting the Gamboa gold medalist. You're fighting a 2-time gold medalist for, you know, the fake undisputed, and you didn't even touch my purse, right? He says, if I went up and vacated, I guarantee you he would try to go and get my belt, so knock it off. So he's saying Devin Haney is alleging that it's the problem with him. He's the boogeyman, and Teofimo, if Devin Haney were to vacate his belt and go up to 140, he's saying that Teofimo would go after it. And I agree with that. I think if you look at Top Rank and some of the moves and stuff, if Devin Haney said, oh, I can't make weight anymore, I'm moving to 140, then they would probably try to clear the air and make that fight. But I don't know about Teofimo personally, but I think at the very least, Top Rank is looking at Devin Haney as extremely dangerous, and he has no ties to Top Rank. So that would be a major loss if they let all of those belts that Teofimo just got in-house with Lomachenko, if he let those escape. Devin Haney says, if I'm so easy or I haven't proven myself, then just fight me and get an easy payday. Hashtag duck. So he's just saying, you know, if it's as easy as you say. And that's what we're getting to, man. It's weird times in boxing, man. It's real weird times in boxing where if people keep saying like a certain fight is easy, but then the fight's not getting made. So somebody doesn't believe that fight is oh so easy. That's how I'm taking it. Again, this stems from Teofimo and his pops were at the Canelo Callum Smith, a one-sided lopsided beatdown. Shout out to Canelo. They were in attendance in Texas for that particular fight. So Teofimo was caught on camera, link in the description, and Eddie Hearn and Teofimo and his dad were kind of going back and forth. And literally on camera, you hear Teofimo's pop say, give us 10 million and we could get that fight done tomorrow. My thing is this. Somebody can't be telling the truth. Somebody can't be telling the truth. Devin Haney also says, y'all said I haven't fought anybody, but Teofimo Lopez wants $10 million to ride off into the sunset with when I beat him. Hashtag Eddie Hearn, hashtag Bob Arum, hashtag and still the boogeyman. And you see your boy Ego, you know, I seen the comment and I thought it was pretty funny. Now, my thing is this, there's definitely a lot of cap going on in boxing. And I feel like the pandemic has made it worse because people don't have a sense of direction. Everybody's just saying whatever, and there's no real clarity, but everybody can't be telling the truth. I rate Devin Haney and I rate Teofimo Lopez. Some people, you know, they use weird arguments saying that, oh, but Devin Haney didn't stop Gamboa, and Teofimo, you see him on the Ring magazine cover, and he beat Lomachenko. That's fine and well, but styles make fights. So the bottom line is It's not like Devin Haney lost any rounds to Gamboa, you know? So whether you thought he was going to get a stoppage or not, that really doesn't matter. Ultimately, that's a cool picture with Canelo and Teofimo. But ultimately, Devin Haney got the job done. He secured the victory and he moves on. You know, at the end of the day, if we're going to play this game, then you could say Teofimo, he didn't look great versus Nakatani. That's an absolute fact. And we see that Nakatani's pretty tough. He just beat Felix Verdejo. But the point I'm making is this. If we judge fighter off of only singular performances, then people were writing, not me, but other people in the media and stuff, they were writing Teofimo off of the Nakatani performance. But guess what? After the Nakatani performance, he made Richard Comey do the stanky leg, became a champion, and right after that, you see him with all the straps that he got, beating Vasil Lomachenko. So we can't say, oh, Devin Haney doesn't deserve a fight because he had a Gamboa fight where he won and he dominated without question, and he didn't get a stoppage. You know, that's not fair to say. Styles make fights. I definitely want to see the fight, and I really, more so than the fighters, and I do think the fighters play a role in here, but more so than the fighters, I really blame the WBC. This man, Teofimo Lopez, you see him in this picture, and the man got 2 WBC belts. Like what? And then you have Devin Haney, who has a WBC belt. So, especially for new fans of the sport, it is highly confusing to see 2 guys in the same division and they're boasting the same belt. Like, how is it that 2 guys have belts, WBC belt? This is Devin Haney after the Gamboa performance. You see E40 shouting him out. He got a call from Jay-Z. So Devin Haney's big business as well. It's a great fight for fans, and it's highly confusing because Devin Haney is up here with a belt that looks just like Teofimo's belt, and he's sitting up here holding it around his hand, and this is all stuff that could have been avoided. Listen, the bottom line is boxing is playing a bunch of politics games, and Teofimo realistically shouldn't have even had the belt based on the initial rules when the WBC came out with the franchise champion. And if you give me a second, I can explain. So you guys will see when the WBC first came out with this whole franchise champion, the first franchise champion they made was beloved Canelo Alvarez. This was an article based on a press release from the WBC because people were like, what is a franchise champion? Where did this come from? Why is Jamal Charlo, the WBC mandatory, not getting a title shot at the WBC champion at the time at middleweight, Canelo Alvarez? It says Canelo position is now explained. All bouts for the WBC opponent can win mandatory, right? And this is what I'm talking about. So this was based on the press release. You see, step number 2, the franchise champion designation is exclusively by appointment by the WBC, their committee basically. But you see right here, section 2, it says this designation is non-transferable. You guys can all see that. This designation is not transferable and is exclusive to the fighter who receives such designation. Canelo is unable to pass the honor to another fighter, meaning even if a fighter beat Canelo when he was the franchise champion, as you guys see, have just highlighted it for you, they cannot become the franchise champion themselves. This is what the WBC told the world when they came out with this horrible program, the franchise champion, which was the witness protection belt to help fighters avoid fighting the tough fights and relieve the pressure and slow the bleeding so fans could no longer clamor for, or the fighter themselves and their team could no longer even have a window to petition for the fights that they should be granted as mandatory. Now we have Exhibit A. RingTV.com. Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko will fight for the WBC lightweight franchise title. So after, when they made the position with Canelo, They just told the whole world that it was a designation only to be exclusively appointed by the WBC Board of Governors and Committee. And then now they switched it right before the Lomachenko fight. So they're really just making up the rules Willie Beeman style as they go. It says on Monday, WBC President Suleiman spoke to select members of the media and declared the winner of the mega fight, Ring Magazine, blah, 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 Lomachenko versus Teofimo, will be the WBC franchise champion. Right? So, and then the article still says Devin Haney currently holds the WBC lightweight title. So there's no reason for them not to fight because this is highly confusing. Suleiman stated he received a request from Teofimo Lopez Jr. and from Top Rank. You see the games, what type of games being played? How's it going down? RingTV.com. Mauricio Suleiman stated that he received a request from Teofimo Lopez Jr. and from Top Rank, the promoter of the fight, that the winner of the fight would be the WBC franchise champion. Suleiman also revealed that Loma is the WBC champion and he petitioned for and was awarded the franchise designation. So basically, they've created this loophole to exonerate the fighter from having to fight guys like Devin Haney. And the WBC, the reason why they've received a lot of flack is because how does this keep happening to African-American fighters like Devin Haney, where he didn't want to just get a belt via the email, you know, because now people are saying he's the email champ and he wanted to fight Lomachenko. He called out Lomachenko. It's well documented. So he didn't get the opportunity. Now he got to get his belt and not have the resume name. Fighters don't want to just fight for a vacant belt if they could fight the champion. Errol Spence was big on this too. He said after Kell Brook lost to Triple G, he was hoping that Kell Brook came back down to welterweight so he could fight him. He was undefeated at welterweight because he didn't simply want to just fight just, you know, the number 2 ranked guy for the belt or whoever was highest ranked. He wanted to fight the actual respected champion. But an African-American fighter like Devin Haney was not afforded this option. So he got the belt based on the politics game. And as you guys seen, Top Rank for Lomachenko requested that he become the franchise champion, just like Canelo, and seized the opportunity. And then Teofimo Lopez and Top Rank, as you guys see, as I've depicted in this video, and is quoted from RingTV.com. And this was for the Ring Magazine belt, so they should be in the know because the Lomachenko fight also had the Ring belt, right? It tells you that this WBC strap that the franchise designation that Lomachenko had was based on Top Rank and Lomachenko requesting it. And then same thing happened. They followed suit, told Teofimo to petition, write a letter, and go through the formalities. And then they voted on it or whatever they did. And then that fight was available to it. So now fast forward to the future, this is a bad look because Top Rank is now taking an American guy who just beat Lomachenko, and it seems like the world would be his oyster because he really has all the belts except for this WBC nonsense that he should fight Devin Haney to clear up. And Top Rank's trying to take him out of the country to Australia to fight George Kambosos, who really lost his last fight, if you watched it, to Lee Selby, you know, and he's not a big name. Plus you have different time zones in Australia. They're a day ahead of me in California, things like that. We all know that ESPN putting on an African-American fighter, Eddie Hearn's stable, like Devin Haney and Teofimo, another American star, you know, that would be a bigger fight. But this is the politics that we have to deal with and endure as boxing fans. We all know, everybody watching this video knows that Devin Haney and Teofimo is a better fight. You can say whatever you want about the Gamboa performance or whatever. It's still a better fight because if we're going to rag on Devin Haney for the Gamboa performance in which he won every round, then we got to look at who Top Rank's trying to match Teofimo with, George Kambosos, and his last performance. And the guy holding mitts is Mickey Bay, who I personally know. Shout out to Mick Bay. He fought George Kambosos, and it was a split decision victory over him. And then after that, he just fought Lee Selby, who really came up from the lighter weight classes and got a split decision over him. So George Kambosos, right, is an Australian boxer, and he's coming off of back-to-back split decisions. So how is that not better? He's 19-0 with 10 knockouts, right? How is a fight with him taking him out of the country to fight a guy off of 2 split decision performances? How is that not better, or how is that better than fighting against, look, split decision. So he's off of 2 split decisions, and really you could argue that he lost both of the fights, right? In 2019 and 2020. How does he get a fight with Teofimo, but Devin Haney, which we know for a fact is a bigger fighter and a bigger brand, especially in America where ESPN is based off, it's all politics, bro. It's all politics. We know what the bigger fight is, but they choose not to make it, and we know why. Look, the man is talking to Jay-Z. It's your boy. Yep. It's perfect. B. Look, the man after his Gamboa fight is talking to Jay-Z. He said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Hashtag Hove, hashtag the dream. So the man has a brand. He's been around. He's highly known. You know, I support him. It's just a better fight with Teofimo. They could continue to say, oh, what has Devin Haney done? And he needs to beat someone. But just like Devin Haney said, he says, y'all say I haven't fought anybody, but you want $10 million to fight me. Like, it just sounds bad for Team Teofimo because it doesn't seem like a reasonable request. Keep in mind that Teofimo's team was negotiating with Lomachenko, and the fight almost fell apart because of money. Now, as you guys can see, your boy Ego, August 4th, I depicted everything. Jeopardy, Lomachenko, Teofimo, money woes. And the articles in the video and all that, I was depicting how a fight may fall apart and fall through the cracks based on what was being reported at the time, right? And the whole report was suggesting that Teofimo's team wanted more money. They were only being offered $1.25 million, and the fight was going to fall apart. As you guys see on the screen, once again, Vasil Lomachenko Teofimo fight title bout in jeopardy, right? So Bob Arum did his usual spiel like he did with Terrence Crawford. He says, we explained to them we have no gate, no closed circuit, said top-ranked CEO of his talks with Teofimo Lopez. I mean, we're willing to pay him a big price, but again, I'm not going to lose millions of dollars on an event just because he thinks he's worth more, right? So this was Bob in August saying this stuff, and he was struggling to get over 1.25 million, you know, August 4th, ESPN. He was struggling to get over 1.25 million. Now he's asking for 10 million after beating Lomachenko. But ironically enough, Lomachenko, his rumored purse was about 3 million to fight in a unification on ESPN. It was highly promoted, you know, at least as for ESPN standards. So how's he expecting to get $10 million when he barely could get over $1 million? That's why Devin Haney is saying stuff like, I made more than you. I made double what you made versus Gamboa. You know, it's just all of this is not making sense to me, bro. You know, that's why he's saying, fight me or stop. I made double fighting Gamboa than you. You can't be the A side, you know? So all this is highly confusing. WBC played their part. They made it confusing with the whole franchise nonsense. And then Teofimo's team, ever since the Lomachenko victory, they're definitely feeling themselves. And they're asking for $10 million to fight Devin Haney. It's just like, how do you come? They said, he put out a tweet saying he ain't gonna get less than $5 million. Maybe that's why they have to fight in obscure places like Australia for an American champion. I don't know. We'll see what's next for Teofimo, but more politics. And it's funny that old media, they keep acting like they're craving Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, and they're telling Errol Spence to just get rid of all of his leverage Who cares that he has more belts than Terrence Crawford? Abandon all your power and leverage, put politics aside and make the fight. But the same people aren't pushing for Devin Haney to fight Teofimo. They're not saying, who cares if you have 3 belts? Devin makes more than you. Devin knows Jay-Z, right? Devin making more money than you. Push all the politics aside and do what's right for boxing and make the fight. The double standards in boxing are sick. They're sick, you know? They want Errol Spence to not have any leverage or not ask for 60-40, 70-30 or whatever, and just put all that aside and make the fight. But Devin Haney keep barking up the tree to fight against Teofimo, and Teofimo's like, man, listen to the video. They're like, we the top dogs. We got all the belts, even though they don't have this WBC belt that Devin got, right? So many politics in boxing. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Also use my link, ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus is $5.99 a month. A ton of original content, documentaries, docuseries, archive fights like Teofimo and Lomachenko. You can get it as a standalone app, or you can get the bundle, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps for one low price of $12.99. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, more politics in boxing. Who's in the right, who's in the wrong? Drop all that in the comment section. We working. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, hi, I'm Mike Tyson, come and watch my fight. Floyd Mayweather, easy work, I'm rich. And Manny Pacquiao, yes, it's up to my promoter, just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.